Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, it's true, I am pregnant. I am 24 weeks today, which is 6 months. And what I'm going to do is divide this video into part 1 and 2. Part 1 will be my first trimester experience. Part 2 will be my second trimester experience. You know, if you all have a preference or if you all want to watch both, go right ahead. But I want to go straight into the video. I do have a group of notes with me so I don't lose track of what I'm about to talk about, because I do have pregnancy brain, so I may forget to say certain things or leave some stuff out by accident, but here we go. Now, how did I find out I was pregnant? So me and my boyfriend, we went out to eat one night. We went to Cheddar's, and I had a margarita that night. Actually, I had 2 margaritas that night. Now, mind you, I'm a margarita person. I could drink 4 margaritas in one night, wake up the next morning completely fine, and like go to the gym and have, be full of energy. I'm not really a hangover type of person, but on this particular night, yes, I had 2 margaritas, and then, we went to bed. I woke up the next morning and I felt hungover. Like, that's the way I could describe how I was feeling. I think it was actually morning sickness I was experiencing at that time, but I completely felt hungover, and I was like, you know what? Something's not right. Prior to that, now, my period was late. Okay, so my period is very irregular. I can go anywhere from, 3 days late up until 10 days late, and still get my period and be okay. At that point, it was like about 9 days late. So I didn't think too much of it. I have been like a whole almost 2 weeks late before and, still got my period. So I didn't think too much of that. But once I woke up that morning and had that slight hangover, I was like, something's not right. So I did go shopping that morning, for groceries, and, I was preparing for my period now. I didn't expect to be pregnant, but I was preparing for my period. So I did buy me some tampons, but I also bought me a pregnancy test. Now, it's funny. So anyway, I get home and everything. I didn't take my pregnancy test till that night. So, my boyfriend was already home. He was in bed already. So I took a pregnancy test that night, and, how did I do it? Okay, so I peed on the stick and everything, set it to the side, and, went out the restroom and started doing other stuff. After 5 minutes, I got real anxious, so I went back, checked the pregnancy test, and oh my goodness, positive. That line down the middle, that bright blue line on the, the first response pregnancy test, oh my goodness. The way it was blue, it was like, yeah, you're super pregnant. So I showed my boyfriend. I was like, I got to tell you something. I took a pregnancy test, and look. He looked at the stick and he was like, okay, what does this mean? So of course I gave him the box and showed him, look, if it's one line going across, it means you're not pregnant. Now, if it's the line going across and the one down the middle, it means I am pregnant. And he just, he just smiled. And he smiled, he looked at me, and he was like, well, I guess we'll be parents. And, well, it didn't really surprise me, it didn't surprise, his reaction didn't really surprise me. We weren't planning to have a baby, but in the case that did happen, we're pretty well prepared. So we let that be that, and the next morning I took a second pregnancy test, and this time I didn't walk out the room. I stayed with it in the restroom and looked at it. I kid you not, after about 30 seconds, that line came down the middle again. So I knew I was super pregnant at that point. I think it took maybe a week for me to finally, set up the OBGYN appointments and all that. And at the time that I had went in, I was already approximately 9 weeks pregnant. So that means the day I found out, I was about 7 weeks pregnant. And I'm just like, wow, all this time. And I've been drinking prior to, but Okay, so the crazy thing is, after I had found out I was pregnant, the morning sickness hit me. Well, I can't complain too much. I read about other people's morning sickness to the point where they're throwing up every morning, throwing up 10 times a day. And I didn't experience none of that. My morning sickness was more so just feeling nauseous throughout the day. Like I could not eat. Like I was starving. I was ravenous, but I couldn't eat. I felt like if I ate, I would throw it right back up. So what I could stomach at that point was like cold foods. I ate a lot of sandwiches, yogurts, like literally I would eat a yogurt for breakfast and probably wouldn't eat again for another 3 hours, maybe a sandwich. And because I was eating such small portions, I was constantly hungry, but my fear of throwing up was what kept me from actually eating. The fact that I was nauseated, kept me from eating completely at all. So throughout my first trimester, I didn't gain any weight at all. So I remained constant. I started at 157, went back to the hospital for my 13-week ultrasound. I didn't gain any weight. And prior to, I was real active. I was constantly going to the gym, lifting weights. Oh boy, I could not, the way I was feeling, I could not even think about going to the gym and doing all that activity. And this was literally every day from weeks, when did I find out? Like week 7 up until week 14. The 7 weeks straight, just nauseous every single day. Now, mind you, I drank coffee every single morning. You know, prior to getting pregnant, I drank coffee every morning. I could not start my day off without a cup of coffee. I couldn't stomach it. Once I found out I was pregnant, I could not stomach coffee at all. What I was drinking was, I couldn't even stomach water. It's crazy. So what I would do to, you know, be able to drink some water, obviously I got to drink water, was add some like lemons to it. I would always add like fresh fruits with some lemons, some strawberries or some raspberries, and that would go down, you know, easily without making me feel like I'm about to throw up. But like I said, luckily I never did throw up, and that's why I said I can't really complain because some people have had it way worse. Now, my first trimester ultrasound, I was 12 weeks and 6 days that day, and you know, it's the first ultrasound, you know, to check on the baby, check on the heartbeat. And I think around that time, my baby was the size of a strawberry, if I'm not mistaken. I wasn't even showing, and it was crazy, you know, because, you know, we went to the ultrasound. I was laying down on that thing, you know, laying down on that bed thing, and they were using the ultrasound thing to go through my stomach. And I'm just looking at my stomach like, it's nothing there. It's flat. It's nothing there. So it's just crazy to know that I had this human being inside me just growing, and the way it looked on the projection screen, like she was literally in there moving around, doing flips and everything, and you know, just like moving. I'm like, oh my goodness. I think they said the heart rate at that time was like 170 something. I might be exaggerating, maybe 160 something. But I thought that was kind of high. They said it was within a normal range, so hey, that's perfect. That's perfect. My boyfriend did accompany me to the ultrasound, and we weren't supposed to record in the room. I've never heard of a place where you can't record what's going on, but over here we weren't allowed to record, but he still snuck and recorded a portion of it, which is what you all saw in the beginning of the video. So that was so beautiful. He was so excited, and I was as well. Just to know that, you know, the baby's there at 13 weeks and growing healthily the way it's supposed to be, and you know, its body parts are forming. It has a heart. That was so beautiful. Now, my first trimester, I didn't really do much. I know that the miscarriage rate is real high during the first trimester, so, you know, I didn't really tell anybody. I just kind of, you know, me and my boyfriend kept it to ourselves. We're just gonna, you know, wait and see, make sure everything's going fine before we let anybody know, you know, what's going on. So, I mean, we didn't do much. We didn't think of names. We didn't start shopping. None of that. We just treated every day like a normal day. Now, first trimester cravings, I craved sushi. Now, not the raw kind now. I think my go-to sushi was the, what was it? The shrimp tempura. You know, shrimp tempura is actually, well, you can get it raw and you can get it cooked. Of course, I got mine cooked because, you know, you can't eat raw sushi while you're pregnant because of the risk of, listeria, I believe. But yeah, that was my craving during my first trimester. I ate it like at least 3 to 4 times a week after work. Like I was constantly eating sushi, and that was good. The point is I couldn't really eat anything else. So the fact that I was eating something, you know, that had a little bit of meat and veggies and rice in it, I thought that was good. It was hot foods that I just could not even bear to be around, like smells and everything like that. Oh my goodness, like lotions. I had to use unscented lotion for a while because I couldn't stand the smell of my Bath and Body Works lotions, all that perfume. I couldn't even wear the whole first trimester. Like, I was a mess. I was a hot mess on the inside. On the outside, you couldn't tell anything was wrong, but on the inside, oh my goodness, I felt every bit of pregnant. So that is my first trimester experience. I didn't have a whole lot going on, but if you all have any questions, anything else you would like to know, please ask it down in the comments below and I will definitely answer them. But that concludes part 1 of my pregnancy update video. Thank you all for watching. Comment, subscribe, and stay tuned.